Hey, Radical Reggie back, and I'm here with Metal Jesus.
Dude, thanks for having me on.
All right, and today we're gonna do a second volume to Hidden Gems video, our Game Boy Advance Hidden Gems. Now, the first one did really well, and we decided to do a second one, and we pretty much have pulled out some big guns here that we feel that you guys will enjoy. So, what do you think, Jason?
Dude, I think people are gonna love it. Let's take a look.
Alright, so the first game I'm going to start out with is a game that's a lot of people know about, but they didn't know it was ported to the system, and that is Bobble. Now, this is Bobble old and new. It comes with the old school Bobble. Oh, I believe it's the arcade one, but it most likely it's the Nintendo version.
I just like hearing you say Bobble. How many times can you do that? Bobble.
I know, right? But this, you know what's cool about this one? It comes with the new remastered version with new graphics and everything, so you're pretty much getting two games in one, and they added a couple of special features in there, which is really cool.
100 levels.
Yeah, I actually got, I was skeptical about playing it again because I got cheated when I got to level 99. The game reset on me for some reason.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think it cheated me though. It was really weird how I was really skeptical about playing it.
So you think it's actually 99 and not 100?
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way, but But anyways,
you let us know.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's good. Not a lot of people know about it, and like I said, you're getting two games of a classic game.
It's a classic. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So next game here, I'm going to talk about is the game was originally going to be a Dig Dug sequel, but they actually turned it to Mr. Driller. Part 2, but this is part 2. There's the first one in the Game Boy Color. Mr. Driller is a fantastic game. Now, this game is really cool because one thing I noticed about this game, it has voice acting in it. It's almost fully voice acted.
Oh, wow.
It has a story mode and everything. Cool digging through. You're pretty much digging through all kind of like surfaces and stuff. Yeah, just like that and everything. But the only thing about this game is that you have an oxygen meter, so you have to get air bubbles or stuff like that so you can breathe and everything. And if you don't fill it up, you'll suffocate. Or the other hazard, you'll get crushed by certain items that you're digging through. So you have to dodge the obstacles while you're digging through safety. So really, really insane.
This game comes up on a lot of lists of the hidden gems for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, good. Well, it's cheap too. Yeah. I mean, you get a complete copy for well, I don't want to say because we know where that'll go.
You never know. All right, so I have a game. I have a couple games that I'm actually going to contribute to this.
Okay.
So the first one really surprised me. It's Moto Racer Advance.
Yeah.
So Moto Racer, I originally played back in the day on the PC, and it's an arcade motorcycle racing game. What's cool about it is that it's both on the street and also off-road. And I was really skeptical when I heard that there was a Game Boy Advance version because I was like, how's this going to work? This is one of the most impressive racing games on the system. Its 3D is blistering fast.
Wow.
Have you played this?
No, I haven't, but it's one of those games that pretty much show you how powerful the Game Boy Advance is.
It does. It's funny because I've been thinking about doing a video sort of highlighting the 3D capabilities of the Game Boy Advance because it's actually impressive, you know? Doom 2 and all those games being kind of an example. And Moto Racer is another one. It's really well done. It's an awesome racing game.
Wow, I need to check it out. I have the first two on PlayStation, or first three maybe, but I didn't know that existed. So
yeah, it's really good.
All right, next game is another game that people wanted in the last video.
Oh, yes. Yes, lots of suggestions in the last video.
The Summon Night series, which is an RPG that a lot of people don't talk about. Now, this is different. Summon Night is actually a series of a tactical game that came out on the PlayStation originally.
Oh, okay.
But the Game Boy Advance version are more like action RPGs, kind of in the way of, I would say, of a Tales of Fantasia.
Oh, really?
Which is cool. And basically, you craft items and everything, and there's a monster that you have to back you up. You summon a monster, he helps you during battles and everything like that. Very cool action, RPG game.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. It's very fun. I actually played more of the second one than the first one because I had to got the second one first over the first one, so I have to play that as a prequel, kind of. But a really unique game. I like it a lot. It has a really unique story to it. The characters seem likable. It's got the good, catchy RPG music. Battle music is good too.
It's by Atlas.
Well, I think Atlas published it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Company. Yeah, but another thing I was going to say about it has good summon attacks and everything that you can summon to help you during battles and everything. So one thing about this game is you craft items, you craft your weapons and stuff like that, which is cool. So you can make your own weapons to go into battle with. So lots of fun.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
Cool. All right, another game here. Gradius Galaxies.
Shooter.
Yeah, shoot 'em up for the Game Boy Advance, and this game is solid. If you like the Gradius series, you know those games you played Gradius before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is a unique one for the Game Boy Advance. They did a really good job on it. It has it's I would say it's like slow pace like the other games is, but the graphics really are bright. I would say really fun. I mean, you can see everything you're doing on it. The screen doesn't get cluttered up and everything where you can't see what's going on. It's definitely playable,
which is nice on a really small screen. Like that,
exactly. Right? And the game, dang, I hate to say it is not going for much. But I hope I won't say anything else. So I don't want people else, Well, as you know, I mean, people kind of accuse our hidden gems videos of perhaps raising the prices of games. I know personally. I mean, I don't feel like I have any control over this. I just want to talk about cool games. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I feel the same way. But like I said, the game is a good shooter to have on the system, and if you're into shoot 'em ups for the Game Boy Advance, it's a must-have.
Okay. All right. So next up for me is a game that somebody recommended that I check out. I was like, seriously? That is Gumby versus the Astrobots. Have you played this?
Who's Gumby? Just kidding. No, I know who Gumby is. I just didn't know they made a Game Boy Advance game.
Or that one you would actually care about.
Yeah, so let's hear it. Like, why am I going to be interested in this?
All right, so first of all, yeah, Gumby is he's a claymation that was created like in the 50s or 60s. A bunch of kid shows, very wholesome, that sort of thing. And this is probably a kid's game. However, it's a 2D platformer game that it has pre-rendered graphics, so Gumby and all, kind of like Donkey Kong Country, right? But the thing that makes this game really good is just that it's so well made. There's different little storybooks that you go into, which are different kind of levels, ice world, jungle world, that sort of stuff. But the gameplay is solid, and because he's Gumby and he's made of clay, he can transform into different things. Like he can become a helicopter. He can transform into a ball, almost like Samus from Metroid, and the game feels like Super Metroid.
Wow, so there's a lot of hidden platform games like this on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
I would never think Gumby is a...
I know. Well, yeah.
Wow.
And this is not an expensive game.
Good.
Yeah, and so, and again, it's one that I think most people were like, oh, it's for kids. The only thing I think that most people would have a problem with this is that it is a little bit on the easier side. That's not to say that it's not a pushover, because if you're new to platforming games, this is a perfect game.
Yeah, to get you interested in it. So
absolutely.
Yeah, good starter one.
Kind of like Metroid. I mean, Metroid isn't super tough, right? Especially some of the earlier ones. As a matter of fact, the thing with me on this is that because it's so close to Metroid, that when I want to transform into a ball, it's not the same button, so it always screws me up, right? But I played this a lot. I've almost beat it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So every time that I'm kind of looking for something to play that's kind of casual, I pop this in. It's good.
Cool, man.
I know. Who knew, right?
All right, cool. So next game, fighting game for the system. I talked about this before in the Genesis video we did, but King of the Fighters EX for the Game Boy Advance is a total hidden gem. This has exclusive characters that weren't releasing it on any other platform, and it has story mode. It has good combos. It's actually a really solid fighting game to have on the system. And with fighting games, it's weird to play on a portable system like the Game Boy Advance because you're only using 4 buttons, the 2 buttons, and then the shoulder button. It's kind of weird, but the controls are really precise. It's music. It's just really, you can tell that they put a lot of heart into this game. That they didn't want to just port a game. They made it created a new game in the series, and it's really fun.
I mean, that kind of highlights that a lot of these games on the Game Boy Advance, even though that they're handhelds, a lot of companies did not skimp on them. They really made like Moto Racer before.
Right.
I mean, why is that so good? It's because they cared.
Well, and it's a 32-bit system.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
that's
it's
true.
Powerful.
And actually, by the time that they probably made these games, 32-bit systems, they knew how to program for it, right?
Right.
So I assume a lot of these developers had, they've already moved through the home console systems where they know how to do good games on it. I mean, that's a guess, but it makes sense.
And very impressive games. So if you're a fan of fighting games, definitely pick these up for the Game Boy Advance. All right, next game here. River City Ransom. Now, we already know about River City Ransom, how fun it is. You got a Nintendo version. This version actually cuts out the 2-player mode, but you have an AI partner that's with you through the game, that makes it cool. So lots of fun, beat 'em up action, leveling up, I mean, did you ever play River City Ransom before?
No, because I didn't own it on an NES, and by the time I went to go buy it, it seems like it's expensive now. Or getting up there. So I haven't done it.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be around a maybe $20 game for Nintendo. But
is it? It seems like it's more when I try to find it.
Yeah, one guy tried to charge $40 for it. We immediately walked out. We were like, okay, you're crazy.
But I would like to get a copy of it because I hear about this game all the time.
Yeah, very fun. I mean, it's a type of beat 'em up where a beat 'em up with a good story to it. So, you know, beat 'em ups, they just have a generic story. This one has a detailed story.
Okay.
Gang, stuff like that, school, you know, all that stuff. It's really cool. I like it.
Okay, cool. All right, next up from me is a game that I believe came out like on the consoles, like
GameCube. I had the GameCube version at one time.
Okay, cool. And that is Spirits and Spells. Now, have you played this version?
No, I have not.
So,
do I want to?
Yeah, because I actually think this game's pretty cool. So so the console version is a full blown 3D platforming game. Yeah. And I don't know if it got really good reviews or not. I think it kind of came and went a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is a 2D platformer, and essentially it all kind of like Gumby. It also has pre-rendered backgrounds and characters and stuff, so it looks really nice.
Okay.
And you know, I actually like it quite a bit. You play as a brother and sister. One of them is a witch, the girl's a witch, and the boy is a demon, and they both have their own special powers and stuff. So you basically swap back and forth between them
during gameplay.
During the levels, because you won't be able to jump a certain distance, or you'll need her hat to attack people and stuff like that. And actually, again, it's very enjoyable. I played this for quite a while.
Oh wow! That's is it a cheap game?
Yeah, it seems to be pretty cheap, and I think primarily the reason is because when this came out, its big criticism was that it was fairly generic in its like level design.
In level design?
Yeah, in level design.
Okay, so easy. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but as far as like the gameplay and the platforming and all that, I mean, it feels solid.
Is it cartoony graphics or like 3D type graphics in a 2D plane?
It feels to me, if I understand you right, Donkey Kong Country.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
That sort of look to it.
Yeah.
Again, on a small screen on the Game Boy Advance, it looks really nice. And so, again, it's it's not going to change anybody's world, but if you're looking for a really solid platforming game,
right,
you could do a lot worse. So,
okay,
yeah.
And definitely a good starter or like platform game. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going down to our last three here.
I think we are.
sigmastar.
I have this game.
Now, the reason I chose this game is a hybrid type game. It's a shoot 'em up game and an action RPG game, which is excellent. The game really starts off pretty fast too. The story mode, you hop into shoot 'em up, you're trying to escape, and it's like really intense. Like you're trying to escape a city, and you fly into outer space, and you survive the level, but then you win the battle, but actually your commanders turn on you. And I think they believe they poison you or something.
Dude,
like that.
Played this. I played this when I first got it, and I was just like blown away. I don't remember.
Yeah, they poison you, and then you wake up. They think you're dead, but you wake up on another planet, and that's where the action platformer starts. But it has more shoot 'em up levels. But it's really fun. Like
I remember you talking to a bunch of people on the ship.
Yeah. And they're like your friends and everything. Next thing you know, you go and get an award, and they give you poison. Like, hey, you serious? Like, a really intense game, really a must-have game, and it's on the cheap.
Yeah,
please believe me. All right. Next game, Boulder Dash EX. Now, the original game came out on a Commodore? No.
Well, it was like Atari home computers, but it was ported to a bunch of computers back in the early 80s, because I played it on the Commodore 64. This was one of the go-to games when I was a kid. And I mean, when I saw Boulder Dash, I was like, Boulder Dash? Like, that's 1985 right there.
Well, what they did with this version, they added EX to it, and they actually gave it a story mode, and they gave it a cute fox-like cat character, I think, kind of like looks like Klonoa a little bit.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
But it's cool. But they added a story mode to it, and basically you're collecting these crystals and everything.
It's very much like Dig Dug.
Yeah, it's just like it. But you're trying to avoid traps and boulders crushing you and stuff like that to get to the next world.
Yeah,
very unique game. Not more to it than that, but
it's a great action arcade kind of game.
Yeah,
and that's what it was back in the day. I mean, it's just one of those games where there's a timer. You're trying to get them as fast as possible. You don't want to get crushed by the rocks. There's sometimes creatures in there, and it's just fun. And
then you got the original version on here too, if you want to see how it started and everything.
So is it the old school graphics and everything?
Old school graphics too. I didn't even know it was a game. I thought it was unplayable when I tried, because I was like, man, I was
so old. Well,
yeah,
I mean, because that game is old.
yeah. But it's just nice that they brought something like this back, and they tried to, it's just really cool.
That's cool.
Last game, SD Gundam Force.
Yeah, so he had a stack of games.
We chose this one.
He's like, which one should it be? I'm like, that one. That just sounds awesome. It's robots.
Exactly. So it was a cartoon series. It came out on Cartoon Network a few years ago when cartoons were still popular. And basically, it's a platform game, but you control 3 different Gundam robots, and they all have different abilities. One, he's like mainly fights and he'll beat stuff up as a sword. The other one flies through the levels with shooting bombs and everything like that. And then the last one I forgot because I didn't really use them that much. I think he's more of a tanked. I can't remember. It was not. But
you can make something up. You know.
He's probably just the stronger beat 'em up one or whatever. But the game is very unique with the platforming. How you could change through the different robots throughout the levels and everything. So like you could change it up how you play it and everything. So it's really fun. I got through the first 3 levels. I got stuck on the 3rd level.
Oh yeah.
But it was compelling enough to like, wow, this game is really fun, and I can't believe no one knows about it.
I've never even seen it before.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm a big Gundam fan and everything like that. So robots really appeal to me.
Oh
so
yeah, absolutely.
It was a no-brainer picking this one up, and they did a really good job with the graphics. I mean, it has that cartoony 2D feel to it and everything. Bandai made this one, and they did a good job on it. I think it's just totally one of the ones that no one knows about. I don't think.
Where did you find this game?
I actually got it online, and for pretty cheap. But I don't want to. we'll get into that in a second. But I got it for $14 complete. So,
okay. Yeah, that's cool. Huh.
Awesome. So another thing, we do these hidden gems videos. We love doing them for you guys, but we're not trying to drive up the price for these games. You have to think about it like this. A lot of these developers that worked hard on these games, they wanted to make money on these games. They didn't want them to be hidden gems.
Yeah, that was never their intent to make some sort of collectible hidden gem.
Yeah, they wanted people to enjoy, as many people to enjoy these games as possible. They may not have had the marketing or whatever to promote them, but I'm pretty sure they wanted a lot of everybody to be able to play these games.
And I know for me, that's my number one with this, is that I don't even look at the price at all in any of these versions, really, because at the end of the day, I don't really care, because I don't have any control over that per se. I mean, I guess I could not make videos, but no, I'm going to make videos because I want people to know what's good out there.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there are tens of thousands of games out there, and so there's so much gold to mine. You know?
Seriously. I mean, we could do a ton of these videos, and there would still be a lot of hidden gems out there for the system. So. And
the other thing too is that while I like showing and we like collecting the physical versions of this, but there's a lot of people out there who are just simply looking for games that might be on the virtual console.
Yeah.
Or maybe a ROM that they're gonna download and check out as a demo or something like that. Totally legit.
Yeah, it's all about playing the game and enjoying it for yourself, whether you have a physical copy or not. So just remember that, guys.
Exactly. So for the 3rd video, which I'm sure we'll do, because there's 2,000 games or something for the Game Boy Advance. So we'd love to know down in the comments, what would you like to see in part 3? Because, we like finding out these games that we maybe didn't know about, like Gumby.
You guys really help us find games too. I read the comments and people recommend games to us, and it's awesome. I picked up a lot of these games because people have mentioned them. Well, some of them I already had a lot of them, but some of them I picked up.
But often in the comments, if one game keeps showing up all the time, it's like, oh, okay, like that's when we should probably check out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. All right, dude. Thanks for coming on this video again.
Yep. See you guys next time.
See ya. I know the issue of hidden gems videos and the price of games has been bugging Reggie for a while now, and so he asked if we could talk about it in this video, and I'm glad we did. He really wanted to kind of explain our perspective on this, and I feel like that hopefully people will walk away with a better understanding of our motivation, which has never been about price, and it's all about the video games. And if you are a subscriber of my channel, hopefully you know that, because we are passionate about video games every single week. Thanks for watching.